You know, I took, look, this is my little book right here.
Affirmation. Ooh.
Affirmation Bible. And look, you take the 20-sided dice. I turned it into a magical game. Take the 20-sided dice, you roll it, and your affirmation. So look, we're about to roll your affirmation right now. Look, a roll call affirmation. Bam, 3. You just roll the 3, and then we roll again for your affirmation, right? Bam. And you got a 6, a 3 and a 6, right? Boom, and it says, I balance my commitments by standing strong in my convictions, right? That comes with the Archangel Raziel, the House of Libra, with the angel number 207. And you look that up, literally look that up, the meaning of that, and that shit literally activates when you start writing the affirmation. So I got, that's my first little magical book, right? And then, you know, we could go and we could travel, right? And if we travel, I always teach people you gotta have all magic. See, you gotta have everything. Your arsenal gotta be your arsenal because you are God. You feel me? And these are, and remember, I keep trying to tell you, the devil been black. I told you, the white folk been on that. The reason why they call it black magic because our melanin is the only thing that can handle the actual magic. But when you look at Lucifer, right, in the painted in white people's painted descriptions, you will see. Hold on, let me get this. You will see that he a nigga. See, look at that. He a nigga. He got an afro.
Oh my God.
That's Lucifer. He got an afro, and it's a nigga. All right, here we go.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said the first devil was a black devil.
Yeah. So I tell people this, man. They didn't create nothing. They learned it from us. Every tactic that they use, and all that, they learned from us. So
let me see. Can I throw something out there? You may be familiar with this or not. I don't know. What? But you know, so now, intentional magic. When we go to school, elementary school, number one, the root word of elementary is element, because when we're dealing with magic, there are 4 elements: earth, wind, water, fire. The 5th one you can't talk about till you go through 7 chakras 7 times. Age 49, you're a junior elder. I digress. Elementary school, the original name for elementary school was grammar school. If you look at the etymology of the word grammar, you're going to find the word grimoire.
Yep.
Grimoire is a book of spells, a book of magic.
Of course. I'm writing a grimoire as we speak.
Ooh.
Listen, bro. My grimoire, bro. Listen, what you talking about, bro? Spell after spell after spell, bro. Hold on, bro. My spells are like no other, bro. These are spells. This is a grimoire. I'm literally, I got page on page on page, pages for days, bro. Oh, number of pages. I'm writing a grimoire, and so the grimoire that I'm writing that you're talking about, yeah, I know what it means. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, because I'm about to floor you. So you go to elementary school, which is really grammar school, which is grimoire.
Remember, at elementary school is also, so we learned in magic too, that the elements are actual alive and living, breathing, conscious gods. So that's not a sky in the sky, that is a god named sky. That's not water you're drinking, that is a god named water. And so when you analyze the elements, remember, that's why it's called the Elohim, the elements, the El. This is why all of the angels got, El at the end of their sentencing. I don't know what happened to him, but I think he might have got knocked off. Oh, there you go. He came back in. Yeah. So we right now I was just showing somebody. Well, when you read the Manly P. Hall book, it shows you how the Lord of the Rings, aka Saturn, is the darkness, and Lucifer Ra, aka the light, is the actual, the heat, our soul, our actual chakra. Everybody's called Chakra. Remember the chakras. Remember, I'm a chakra doctor. Remember, I invented my own yoga, brother. Literally, when you activate your chakras, I am literally fucking Goku of this shit, bro. I got in my system. There's 29 chakras. We walk. I'll activate your chakras right here, live on air, and you feel that shit, and you know who I am, bro. That is. I activate both of y'all. I activate your chakras.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Activate your chakras, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But go ahead.
Well, before we activate any chakras or anything like that, I did want to try to finish this thought real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you go to school, which is grammar school, or grimoire school, or let's just call it grammar school. In grammar school, you learn how to spell. We've heard this on the internet a bunch of times. Here's the thing. When you learn how to spell or you learn how to write, we know spell is really casting a spell and write is short for ritual. However, what you may not have heard before is when you go to school, you're going to use a number 2 pencil. We know that already. Do you know how many sides a number 2 pencil has?
What, 6?
So the shape of the pencil in which you write your spell and conduct your ritual is in the form of a hex.
Yeah, remember, I teach people the chakra codes, remember. So, remember, your root is called a chakra, it's called the chakra plex code. Remember, the hex is really just a commemoration to the X chromosome. Okay, so your root chakra is called Rex. This is why the Tyrannosaurus Rex, when you look at it, the root chakra is in control of your R complex, the part that regulates ritual, right? That's called your Rex. Your sacral chakra, that's called your sex. Your solar plexus, that's already named, is called your plex. Your heart chakra is your hex. Your vocal chakra is your vex. Your third eye chakra, that's your text, right? And your crown chakra, remember, that's your crest, or the KRST that they speak about in Kemetic science, the crest, the crown chakra. And when you activate the Kundalini snake, right? When you activate that Kundalini snake, and some people call the Kundalini snake chi, some people call the Kundalini life force, some people call the Kundalini, nirvana, whatever. Everybody got a different name for what they give to Cali or the Kundalini, right? This is why California, the root chakra of the earth is located in Mount Shasta, California, right? And so when you're talking about the hex code, I always tell people, hex is not a bad thing. It only represents a sacred geometrical shape. I keep telling people, sorcery, magic, energy is like a gun. It can either protect you or hurt you. It's up to the intent of the person that is using the gun. Okay, and so the same thing with hexes and curses, and I teach people the best thing to do. Sorry, I cut you off. Go.
No. I was just gonna finish my thought and add value. Now, when you're dealing with shapes, energy transfers through shapes. Certain energies are great. Certain shapes are great energy conductors. That's why the pyramids are the shape they are to conduct energy. So now, when you're dealing with a pencil, the pencil is going to conduct a certain energy because of that shape. Now, we're going to take that shape to the next level. When you graduate from a pencil, what's the next tool you use?
The pen.
A pen.
It's still the same pen. Pencil, a pen. It's the right pen.
The most
penitentiary. Yeah, that's all right.
The most popular brand of pen is going to be the Bic. You ever heard of a Bic?
The most popular brand of pen is Rikers Island, motherfucker.
You funny.
The most popular brand of pen is the fucking industrial prison complex. My bad. Go ahead.
Now, if you look up the full name of a Bic pen, it's called a ballpoint pencil. I'm sorry, a ballpoint pen. You've heard of that, right?
The big ballpoint pen.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you look up the full name, because that big ballpoint pen, it's clear. Go back and look at the pen. It's clear. It's called a big crystal ballpoint pen. You didn't catch that, did you?
Crystal. Remember, crystal. Yes, because crystallization is Saturn.
No.
What?
I'll say it again. Go Google it. It's called a crystal. It's called a Bic crystal ballpoint pen. Crystal ballpoint pen.
Oh, shit. Crystal ball.
The pencil is in the form of a hexagon. Get to the next level, it's still in the form of a hexagon, but now it's crystal, a crystal ball. These are things
like a quartz.
These are mediums.
Yeah.
So now
remember
what
they
is
call your body
for?
Remember, your body is a prism, right? So the prism, that's the same thing as the crystal. Like and we like with the book you just showed me. So it's crazy you showed me that book, right? Because the book you just showed me, it shows you how, Satan, Saturn represents the crystal, right? And the crystallization and the cold and the being able to crystallize the spirit into the cellular structure of the body, and how Lucifer represents the light and the fire of the ascending flame of the soul that is housed inside of the body, making the solar system circulate, right? That fire that makes the solar system circulate like a choo-choo train, right? And so that crystal ball analogy, see, that's what I'm saying. You know all that, so you see, you know all that. So now that's why I asked you the question. Do you sit down and do you say, man, I'm about to write me a spell, and that spell is about to be named this, and I'm about to take that spell and I'm about to read it and do this and that and the third? That's what I'm saying. Do you practice that type of Harry Potter? Do you practice the type of magic that we see on the movies?
No, not that you see on the movies. Now, what I'll do, in terms of ritual, I think that's what you're asking me. Do I do any rituals? I do full moon rituals. I'll go get a brown paper bag. I'll put my hand on the bag with a something natural. It's not going to be ink. It's not going to be graphite. It's probably going to be because pencils aren't made out of lead anymore. They're made out of graphite.
Yeah,
I'll probably get coal. I'll get chalk or something like that. Outline my hand on a brown paper bag. Write whatever it is I want to manifest. Remember, the moon is a satellite. Write whatever it is I want to manifest. I'll put it under my pillow the night before the full moon. I'll sleep on it. I'll wake up and then that night under the full moon, I'll read whatever it is I wrote down. Then I'll set it on fire. So this is no different than doing a ritual on.
These are called the 28 mansions of the moon. Each 20. That's why it goes in 28-day cycles, from new moon to crescent moon to quarter moon to full moon, back to waning, and you wane back down to new, right? So, and it takes 28 days to do that. Right, and they call these. So remember in the Bible, because you said you had held up the Bible, Jesus said in the Bible, "In my Father's house
there are many
mansions." All right. Now remember, in sorcery, we know the moon to be, even though it's a satellite that was constructed from the fabric of Earth, and we know that the Lord of the Rings controls the moon. This is who she's satelliting for. That celestial being we like to call Saturn. If you look at the way the procession goes, Mercury, right? Look at the colors of the planets. Mercury has got a high color, it's close to the sun. Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, they all got those hot berry colors. They got the asteroid belt, and then you get to what? Saturn, and it gets what? Cold. You got Neptune got a cold blue, and you got all of the other planets, Uranus and Pluto, and all of them are cold, cut off from the sun. But then you got this unusual thing in the sky. Right, that we look at, and we call it the moon. Right? In some alien books that I've read, the aliens call the moon 11. This is why it henceforth for the term 11. And leavened bread and unleavened bread. It really a term for 11, or aka the moon and the mansions on the moon. And Jesus said, "In my Father's house there are many mansions." And we know that Jesus is a borrowed, plagiarized term that they borrowed from the story of Heru, right? The story of Ra shining down on the womb of Aset and birthing the Christ child Heru, right? Then that's how they borrowed and plagiarized that, right? So the thing is, you say you do a full moon ritual. Is that as far as you go, or are you like into high levels with this, or are you just be doing your moonlighting thing? You got your microphone cut off.
Sorry, you said moonlighting. That's funny.
Yeah, because that's what they call that. They call that in actual sorcery. That's what it's really called, moonlighting. And in the witching hour during the full moon, they got a lot of different things that people do. Some people bring water and put their hand into it, right, and have the chalk already on their hand with the request in their hand already, and go put water and let the water sit under the full moon and moon like that. Okay, you got sunlight and you got moonlight, and so that's why when I said I wasn't being funny, I was actually being a sorcerer talking about moonlighting.
Yeah, absolutely. I found that interesting because I didn't know that. I just love to learn. So that's why it was interesting to me or funny to me. But what I wanted to say is in that manner, absolutely. But remember, glamour is a form of magic. These days, the most popular spell is love spells. Till this day.
Wait a minute. Who is the biggest? I just did a show on this. Who is the biggest glamour? Who is the biggest occult family that uses glamour magic?
The Kardashians.
Okay, there you go. You
well,
already
remember
know shit.
what did Jesus say about Lucifer? Did Jesus say Lucifer was handsome?
Jesus is Lucifer.
I'm sorry, not did God. Did God say Lucifer was handsome?
Did God say Lucifer was handsome?
Yeah.
No, not in the Bible.
What did God say?
God said
Lucifer was beautiful.
Oh, in the Bible? Not in the Bible. In the Bible, they don't describe him in the Bible. We're talking about in the actual Bible itself. The only time they mention the word Lucifer is one time, and that's in Isaiah. And they mention the word Lucifer one time, and it mentions how he's proverbially fallen from heaven and fallen into and weakened the nations. And then the next time you hear about Lucifer is when Jesus proclaimed himself to be the bright and morning star, because that's what Jesus and Lucifer are both the same. If you look at the Bible, it's broken into 66 books, but when you look at it, the first half of the Bible is real devilish. The God, the satanic God Yahweh demands, child sacrifice from Abraham. He kills more than thou shalt not kill should allow, right? And then, And then all of a sudden in this New Testament, Jesus comes along and there is no murders and stuff like that. And it's forgiveness and it's so one of this duality of, the satanic aspect. And I keep telling people in magic, we learn, in true high sorcery, we learn that God and Satan are actually, if you want to be technical, the same being because of the one power that God got that makes it possible, and that's omnipresence. When you are omnipresent, that means you are within all, and that all is including the devil, that all is including the demon, and that all is including the dragon, as well as all of the other so-called evils that men twist sacred energies for. Remember, these are sacred African energies that have been spliced into modern day whitewash that we must reclaim and take back and put it back into our melanin as a black practice, right? So I know when I'm saying Lucifer, I'm actually talking about Ra. I know when I'm saying, Saturn or Satan, I'm talking about Set, right? This is where they stole it from. I know when I'm saying these different things, I am talking about the place where they come from and acknowledging that place where they come from, give them back their original meanings and their original powers and wield them like a god should. So, Brother Varner, do you...
Let me...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, brother. Your screen went black. That's why I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I'm still here. It's just a little dark skin, but I'm still here. Let me just reply to that.
Hold on. What happened? Why your screen went black again?
I'm actually...
He's in the dark. He's in a dark room.
See, that's that magic shit, y'all.
It's funny. No, but...
That's that magic shit. I'm telling you. Ain't no funny, nigga. I wrote you.